Hello world. Today we're going to talk about one of the most important topics in life, which is innovation and entrepreneurship. My name is Yusuf Bonaparte. I'm associate professor in finance from University of Colorado. I'm a director for externals, and I have consulting to institutional investment companies with $100 billion. I'm going to start with Charles Darwin and innovation. Charles Darwin, he was a sailor going around the world. He saw a lot of species, and he said, who survives? Not the strongest of the species, nor the most intelligent of the species, not the fastest or the largest, i.e. dinosaurs, but the most adaptable, which is innovative, of the species survived. The most adaptable. So innovation, it has to do with, and adapting, it has to do with surviving. What is innovation? Innovation came from a Latin word called novare, but if you spell it, pronunciate it as innovare, which is renew, which is a root for novos or new. Innovation, it's a new idea plus value. If you have an idea, you are creative. If your idea has a lot of value to society, then you are innovative. So innovation is critical for businesses because and survival, because there is something coming up like change of the market structure. For example, Kodak, it's a company that, for photos, and you have a film and you give it to. When I was a student, something called CD Towers, I used to give them the film, and they say come in a lunch and take the pictures, print it, and send it to friends. Kodak is a great company, innovative, but the market structures change. As a result, this company did not survive. Kodak, what they're going to do? A smartphone just to send pictures? They cannot compete with Apple. So this is a smart company. George Eastman created this company, was innovative, but the market structure changes or changed. As a result, this company cannot survive. You can't do anything with that. You cannot do anything. Now, MySpace is a different story. MySpace innovation, lack of innovation. The problem with MySpace, lack of innovation. MySpace was $15 billion when Google was much less than $15 billion, but bankrupt. This company bankrupt because Facebook came, and then Instagram and TikTok and those. So lack of innovation. BlackBerry, the same story. Lack of innovation. It was the biggest smartphone company in the world. Even Barack Obama, President Obama, in 2008, when he got elected in 2009, he want to keep his BlackBerry. They told him you cannot, so they find something. So BlackBerry was even President Obama, and not that far, talking about 2009, he was using BlackBerry. Yellow Cab and Uber, we all know this story. I'm not sure if before we used to have a yellow cab in the football games and basketball, you see a lot of yellow cabs after the game, before the game. Now Uber taken over. That's a lack of innovation for yellow cab. Another example is you have business, you're not innovative, but you still have business, like Nvidia versus Intel. In the 90s, when I was high school student, my dream was to work in Intel. I remember my mom always asking me, look how this, how that. I said, Mom, I just want to work for Intel. And Nvidia was not existed. Now Nvidia is 6 to 7 times the size of Intel market cap. Why? Because Intel doesn't reinvent and disrupt ourselves. Like Nvidia used to have A100, which was great, better than Intel ones. Now they replace it with H100. They can say, well, we're better than Intel. Why to change? No, they continue because for the AI technology, develop RTX and generative AI, Nvidia, and they continue with innovation. So there are some companies that are not innovative, but still in the market. General Motors, Ford, and other companies who are like Intel, they're not innovative, still in the market, but we cannot see the future for them. So now we're going to talk about why we need innovation. I give you a lot of examples here and there, but the question is why we need innovation. Adapting, for adaptation, and growing. Innovation has a 3 process. I define this process: idea, refining and improvement, and pilot product. So if you are innovative, you have to come up with an idea. That means you're creative. And then second step is refining and improvement the product idea. For example, you talk with your friends, with your business partners, with neighbors, with the people you like, and you go to the internet to see what's going on around there. And then you have a pilot product, and then you go to the angels asking for funding, investor angels, angel investors. And then you stop from there. That's innovation. Type of innovation. The way to explain innovation is to use the idea of smartphone versus app. Smartphone is an innovation, and app inside the smartphone is improvement. Innovation has two types, either new product or improvement. Smartphone can be as a new product, improvement like an app. For example, new product could be smartphone like Samsung and Apple. I think Apple before Samsung. Is Uber and Yellow Cab? Is Uber an improvement or a new idea? No, it's a new idea, because Yellow Cab doesn't have peer-to-peer with the passenger and the driver. Now with Uber, you have a centralized, you can go and choose your driver. So improvement is an idea, an innovative idea that lowering the cost, fasten the process, make it faster, increase the revenue, make it more efficiency. It's like an app inside the phone. So two types of innovation. One is a new idea, a new product, and one is improving in the product. How to be innovative. This is important. I'm a professor and I have a lot of students. So I can tell the students who want to be, who has a potential for innovation. Like if you're in a class, you should question the assumption by the professor, the suggestion by the professor. So some students, so you have to ask. Now, some students are shy, don't like to ask. That I understand. They are innovative and this. But if you want to have a critical thinking, then you have to start questioning everything in the class. Now, you cannot run the class back and forth questions. You do one question or two. But the critical thinking, the idea is critical thinking. You have to have a critical thinking. In the classroom, you have to ask questions. You have to question the assumption, not to believe what you hear immediately. People like to believe because it's faster and cheaper. This happened. Okay, that's it. That's a truth fact, but maybe not. Well, if not, then you have to go and research. But you don't have time, and it's not a priority. You let it go. But if you do that, everything in your life, you don't have a critical thinking. So critical thinking, how to be innovative, to have a critical thinking. Question everything. Education. Education give you, when I'm saying education, I'm not talking about midterm and final. So you do nothing midterm, you study and nothing. That's old stuff and nobody cares about it anymore. But we do it, but that's not. Education, when I'm talking about, you read, you enhance your knowledge, and you go to YouTube and you read about the sun, the moon, the earth, the origin, NASA, this, war, peace, AI technology, machine learning. You go and investigate by yourself. You didn't need to wait for your professor. You have to go to educate yourself. That's education. Community involvement. The simplest way is community involvement, because to be innovative is community involvement, because you have to work with the community and see what is missing, ideas that are missing, make it faster, easier for the people. So you have to engage with them and see the limitation that they have. Like, for example, I have a new idea about personal ETF. If you want to do an ETF, it's going to cost you 120,000 plus 20,000 every year. That's $140,000. But I created an idea is to make it with a $0, which is why? Because financing people, investors have a lot of ideas for ETF, but it's costly. Nobody execute these ideas. I have a program. I'm going to launch it soon. And if it works, then I get my jackpot. A scholar of history. I started this presentation with Darwin. So you have to go and see who are the innovative in the world, what they're doing, how they did it, and why they did it. So you have to go and be a scholar of history. That's going to be a couple months to go and see who are innovative, why they do it. I'm writing a book, so you'll have when I finish it, you can read my book and go through all of those who are innovative. So innovation challenges. Like if you are innovative or if you invented something, there are challenges. And again, adapt and reinvent yourself. You have to convince customers about your product. Again, you have to adapt to their question and reinvent their issues that align with the newly ecosystem. Like idea can start in 2005 and the IPO of the company 2025. You have 20 years if you're getting better, better, and better. So if you didn't align with the newly ecosystem, your product was good in 2005 and 2015 is dead. Like Facebook started in when 2002 or 3. The IPO was in 2012, like a decade after. Developers with a clear vision, competition disrupt the industry. So the challenges is, can you disrupt the industry or they're gonna buy you out and put you out of business? Resiliency, to forget the past, because all of the people who are innovators, they have a lot of bad experiment till they get the experiment that worked. If you are gonna keep thinking about what you did in the past wrong, you cannot be innovative. But resiliency without innovation, you have to forget the past. I mean, we all do mistakes in the past, and then if you want to clear the past and make it clean, just be smart in the future. Because when you do great in the future, all sins are forgiven. Now I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship. Now, these are two different topics, but people usually mix them together. Why? Because the innovator end up to be entrepreneurship. Like Mark Zuckerberg invented Innovator for Facebook. He ended up to be an entrepreneur because he owned the company, Facebook, a new company, which is Meta now. So these are related, but they come in together. Like innovative become to be entrepreneur. But there are entrepreneurs who are not innovative. What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is a French word, came as entreprendre, which means to do something or to undertake. 3 centuries after this 16th century, when the French introduced the word entrepreneur, I think that's the way they do it. I have accent initiated from the 13th century. Then we call it entrepreneurs, and then a business venture. So here's example for entrepreneur versus innovator. Now Elon Musk is an innovator and entrepreneur. And Nikola Tesla is also innovative and entrepreneur. But I'm going to explain what's the difference when it comes to Tesla car. Nikola Tesla, he came from Eastern Europe, I think Croatia or something like that, Eastern Europe. He came to the States and he worked with Edison who created the bulb or the light. Obviously, Edison was a disaster. Thanks, Nikola Tesla was fixing his problem. But then Nikola Tesla left Edison and he created his company. And Nikola Tesla, he set up the infrastructure for electricity. So the electricity, you have it in home. It's his ideas, not Edison. Edison has wrong ideas. Nikola Tesla fixed his mistakes. But people like Edison more than him. So Nikola Tesla came up with the electrical vehicle, EV. And he has an idea and he developed some idea and he stopped. Now, Elon Musk came and bought the company Tesla from South Carolina. From 3 people there. They have a pilot for Tesla, and Elon Musk came and bought the pilot and he created what we have now today, the Tesla, and we have a Tesla trucks and everything we have from Tesla. So in this case, Nikola is the inventor. Elon Musk is the entrepreneur in this case. Now, Nikola Tesla, another thing I have to mention about him. Nikola Tesla, he created what we call it today, Wi-Fi. He created the tower, and the tower existed during his time. And he was thinking that we can do Wi-Fi, but he died and they destroyed the tower. Did not go, the idea. Nikola Tesla died with $0. He was living in a hotel all of his life. And that's it. So it's a sad story. I'm sure like Hollywood will write a movie about it, will make a movie, and then you know more about Nikola Tesla. So that's an inventor for EV car, and Elon Musk is an entrepreneur. Differences between entrepreneurship and entrepreneur. As we said, entrepreneurship is the process turning an innovation into business. Entrepreneur is the person who delivered this process. I'm going to close with how to be an entrepreneur. Well, you have to take risk, willing to take risk. Now, I have a lot of friends, smart, they're doing good, and they're talking about, I take calculated risk. There is no calculated risk. When you do calculated risk, that means you're not taking risk here. Taking risk, like we put all in, you move all of your chips in that center of the table. That means you're taking all the risk. Networking, you have to go and talk with people. If you didn't have this soft skill communication, then it's hard for you to be an entrepreneur. The reason I do consulting to institutional companies is because I network with the people, with fund managers, and they ask me, they email me, I meet them, a couple of drinks with them, dinner, lunch with them. So I build a relationship with these people. But learn how to build business plan. Now, business plan for a company like Apple, Microsoft is different than in venture capital. Different aspect. If you take my classes, then I will teach you how to. If you take the venture capital class, then I'll teach you how to do business plan. Secure funding, it's the hardest one. You have to go and find people to believe in you. You are a brand, basically, and you ask them to buy your brand. If you watch Shark Tank, that's an opportunity to understand what is that secure funding. That's all what I have for you today. I just want to go back again and mention what Charles Darwin said, because this is the main piece. This sailor person has a lot of wisdom. He will be in my book. And he said the strongest, the fastest, the smartest, the intellectual are not the species that survive. Even if you're a smart and intellectual, doesn't mean you're going to survive. Only the adaptable, the adapt. That means innovator will survive all these millions of years that the earth lived. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you have any questions. You have my email. I'm a fun person. Anytime I will reply to your emails. Thank you.